Thank you for choosing a Hollowell in-wall pool step. Hollowell Industries Inc., HII, is not affiliated with any professional pool installer. Therefore, HII can assume no responsibility for errors in installation by either the homeowner or by said professional installers. If you have the in-wall pool step installed by others, please supervise the installation process to be sure they comply with the steps we've shown. This installation video is designed to supplement HII's pool assembly and installation instructions for your style of pool. This video does not replace the written instructions. Be sure to read all instructions carefully prior to installation. Check to see if building permits or utility clearances are required, and obey all codes for fencing and electrical safety. Refer to your pool assembly and installation instructions. Tools and materials. In addition to the tools and materials required in the pool assembly and installation instructions for your pool, you will need the following items: a 2-foot carpenter's level, a 1/4 20 by 1 number slotted or Phillips head screwdriver, sharp utility knife, a flat end shovel to help with a more precise excavation, a round shovel, measuring tape. A transit or builder's level is recommended to help with leveling the in-wall pool step. 8 4-inch by 8-inch by 16-inch solid concrete cap blocks. 5 60-pound bags of quick-set concrete for step trench. Important: the step is installed in place of one bottom rail top rail section for most pools. Some round pools with extra long bottom rails will require the use of 2 short bottom rails and 2 short top rails to make up the distance. Refer to Figure 4A as illustrated in your written instructions for an example. The step is intended to be used in-ground or with a deck. The step must have a deck support around it to prevent any misuse entering or exiting the pool. Follow the directions in your pool's assembly guide until you have completed the section on laying out the bottom rail framework. See Figure 1 in the in-wall pool step instructions. At this point, you will need to decide where you want to locate the pool step. Remember, the step can only be located at the radius ends of an oval. See Figure 2 in your in-wall pool step instructions. The skimmer and return holes in the pool wall will be located to the left of the step when standing inside the pool area and facing the step, so keep this in mind when locating the pool step. Once the step location has been decided, remove 1 bottom rail and 2 bottom connectors from the area you will be placing the step, and remove 1 bottom rail and 2 bottom connectors from the area. See Figure 3 in your in-wall pool step instructions. Locate the PVC support pipes to temporarily support the steps while positioning cap blocks. The diagram shows cap blocks numbered 1 through 8 and dimensions for the support pipe locations when centered on the cap blocks numbered 5 through 8. Locate the area where the blocks 1 through 4 will be placed. The cap blocks are required and must be used to prevent the support post and the support brace from sinking into the ground. Warranty will be voided if not used. Refer to Figure A in your in-wall pool step instructions for help marking out an area for the step trench. Mark a 3-inch trench in the front of the step and a 3-inch trench in the back of the step for a final trench size of 6 inches by 48.5 inches by 12 inches trench for the bottom of the step to rest in. Now you may remove the step for excavation of the trench and blocks 1 through 4. Make sure all the blocks are level to the surrounding area. Once the trench is excavated, you will be able to place the step in its location. With help, position the step assembly in place and insert the bottom rails onto the bottom rail locators on each side of the step. Now locate the position of blocks 5 through 8. Scribe the blocks. Excavate blocks 5 and 6 first. Make sure all blocks are level with surrounding area. Next, determine the length of the PVC pipes for each block. Cut the size and insert pipe into the hole of the step. Repeat steps for all pipes and cap blocks. Make sure the step sits level on top of the patio blocks and adjust if needed. The trench will need to be filled with quick-set concrete mix after the pool wall, verticals, and top rails have been installed and before the liner is installed. Let the concrete mix set up prior to filling with water. Don't perform this step until you are ready to install the liner. Refer to your instruction guide as to when to install the mix. Be sure to measure the diameter of your bottom frame once the step is in place to make sure the diameter is correct for your pool size. No cutting of top rails or bottom rails is needed. On a 18-foot oval, the step can only be positioned on either side of the direct center of the oval radius ends. Refer to Figure 4B on page 2 for step placement and short bottom rail placement. If your pool came with 2 short bottom rails, the short bottom rails are placed on the bottom rail locators and bottom connectors closest to the step as shown. There will also be 2 shorter top rails that will be used where the shorter bottom rails are located. If your pool step doesn't have the bottom rail locators already assembled, attach the left and right bottom rail locators to the bottom of the step as shown in your in-wall pool step instructions. Refer to your pool's assembly guide about installing the wall before starting this step. Start the pool wall on the right side of the step assembly by uncoiling the pool wall about 6 to 10 feet and insert bottom edge into groove in the bottom rail track. Slide the end of the wall joint towards the step until the holes in the wall joint line up with the holes in the step vertical. Be sure the top edge of the wall slides under the vertical end cap before fastening wall to vertical. See Figure 5. Insert 1/4 to 20 by 1/2 inch long panhead screws with a screw head to the inside of the pool wall and 1/4 20 lock nut on the inside of the vertical. Loosely attach all the screws and nuts first, then tighten them securely. Recheck the tightness of the screws and nuts at least twice to ensure a proper seat. File off any sharp burrs on the screw heads. Then place the protective wall strip over the screws and the edge of the pool wall and secure with duct tape. Be careful and do not get any tape over the gasket sealing area. Finish installing the wall around the perimeter of the pool until you reach the other side of the step and repeat the steps above to attach wall to step vertical. Refer to your pool's assembly guide for directions installing the wall to help ensure the wall is installed correctly. When installing the bead receiver for a beaded liner, stop the receiver on the outside edge of the step and over the gasket. You will need to cut approximately 1.5 inch off the top of the step faceplate so it will fit at the bottom edge of the bead receiver. See illustration at the bottom left of page 3. Now is the time to fill the trench with quick-set concrete mix. Fill the trench with the mixture from the inside and outside of the step and let it cure before installing the liner. If the mixture does not completely fill the trench, fill the remaining area with dirt and pack down firmly so it is level with the surrounding area. You will need to place a piece of pre-formed cove or build a dirt earth cove at the base of the pool step approximately 4 inches high. Return to your pool's assembly guide to install verticals, top rails, and other hardware in Pool Cove. Before you install the liner, you will need to remove the faceplate strips from the step. Make sure the gasket remains attached to the step. When installing the bead receiver for a beaded liner, stop the receiver on the outside edge of the step and over the gasket. You will need to cut off a portion from the top of the step faceplate so it will fit at the bottom edge of the bead receiver. Install the liner per the instructions included with the liner or your pool's assembly guide. If you are installing a beaded liner, you will need to start the liner on each side of the step approximately 6 feet, then continue around the pool installing the liner into the bead receiver. Before installing an oval liner, make sure the liner is aligned correctly with the pool layout. Water method option for setting pool liner. When you start filling the pool with water, you will need to pay close attention to the liner at the step area for any wrinkles and adjust them as needed immediately. You will not be able to do this once the water level reaches a certain depth because there will be too much weight on the liner to press out any wrinkles. When the water depth is approximately 10 inches for 52-inch tall pools or 12 inches for 54-inch tall pools, and the liner is against the pool wall at the bottom, you will fasten the bottom faceplate strip to the pool step first using the supplied screws. Sandbag option for setting pool liner. Refer to instruction guide. Another method that can be used to install the step faceplate strips before filling with water is to use two 50-pound sandbags to weigh down the liner. Place the sandbags below the step as shown in Alternative Sandbag Method in the instructions to stretch the liner and pull the liner down. Make sure the sandbags are positioned correctly so they will stretch the liner similar to filling with water. Once the liner is stretched, follow the directions in the instructions to attach the step faceplate strips. Remember to only use a handheld screwdriver so you will not over-tighten screws. Do not use a cordless drill to attach the faceplate screws. Use a handheld screwdriver only. Over-tightening the screws may break the faceplate strips. Find a screw hole that will line up with the corresponding bottom faceplate screw hole and attach screw. Follow the holes in the faceplate to attach the remaining screws to the bottom faceplate. Very important note: do not allow the liner to wrinkle behind the faceplate. This can cause a leak to occur. Finish installing the remaining left and right faceplate strips. You will need to cut off a portion from the top of the left and right faceplate to allow it to fit at the bottom edge of the bead receiver. You will have to trim the cover strip the same amount and finish off the top of the strip with the strip cap. Make sure all screws are tight and secure before adding the cover strips over the faceplate. At this point, you are ready to trim the liner area at the step opening. Make sure you trim the liner on the correct side of the faceplate, as illustrated in your in-wall pull step instructions. Trim along the inside edge of the faceplate along the opening until the liner is completely trimmed. Continue filling pool and watch for any wrinkles and adjust as needed. Attach the top rails on both sides of the step assembly before attaching any other top rails. Reference the illustration in your in-wall pull step assembly guide when attaching each top rail to the vertical end cap on the step. The hole pattern shown is only for the vertical end caps on the step assembly. Once these top rails are attached, refer to your pool's assembly guide to finish attaching all other top rails using the correct hole pattern for your pool. Make sure to follow your pool's assembly guide instructions to complete the pool assembly. Be sure to follow your instructions and this video very carefully. Pool failure may occur if the step assembly is not done correctly. Be sure to use all bolts, washers, nuts, and hardware included, and that all are installed correctly. If you are not sure of the proper assembly, please review your instructions in this video. If you have any questions concerning the correct installation, please contact customer service at 1-877-228-4586. Important: above-ground pools are designed for swimming and wading only. Do not dive or jump. Misuse of your pool may result in crippling injury and/or other dangers to life and health. Do not use slides, diving boards, or any other platform or object which can be used for improper pool entry. Use only an above-ground swimming pool ladder or entry system to enter or exit your pool. Never attempt to swim or reach behind ladders or any other pool entry system. It is the pool owner's responsibility to secure the pool against unauthorized, unsupervised, or unintentional entry. It is also the pool owner's responsibility to warn all pool users of the hazards of diving into shallow water. Paralyzing injury may result. Always obey all safety rules. Remember, pool safety is everybody's responsibility. Safety decals and caution information provided with your pool have been endorsed by the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. It is mandatory that the pool owner and installer follow the installation and use directions for all provided safety signs and decals. Juveniles must be supervised at all times by a responsible adult as directed by the USC PSC. Change of design. The manufacturer expressly reserves the right to change or modify the design and construction of any product in due course of their manufacturing procedures, without incurring any obligation to furnish or install such changes or modifications on products previously or subsequently sold.